This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this 2022 Puma travel trailer. We can't see it very well here. Let me bring this down so we can see this. There we go. It's the 28 BHSS. Okay. Let me put this back up. So I'm just going to show you around it and talk about how some of the different features work. Okay. So first of all, you can see that we've got power stabilizer jacks right here. So you have one switch controls both rear, another switch controls both front, right? But there's a workaround in case there's any issues with it. Let's say it just stops working or something. You get this particular crank right here, if you can see it. It has a cylinder with a slot cut in it, if you can see that. Okay? So if we come around to the off-door side and look at the stabilizers, they've got a shaft with a pin through it. So that will accept this wrench right here. So the bottom line is, you can, if they happen to fail for whatever reason, you can crank them manually. So you can always get yourself out of trouble. Now when it comes to your power tongue jack, you see there's a plug right here, a rubber plug. If this happened to fail and you can't hitch or unhitch, you can pull that rubber plug and use this 3/4 inch crank right here. You can also use a 3/4 inch 6-point socket on a drill, battery powered drill or driver or whatever you have. So, okay. All right. So those are two ways to get yourself out of trouble. Also, you can look into it if you choose, but I won't go into great detail here. But if you look through this hole, let me see if I can see that far with the camera, if I can get a good picture of it. Anyway, there's a shaft with a pin through it, just like you saw on the back of the stabilizers. Well, if in an emergency with that crank, you can put that crank on there, and you can actually crank that slide room manually in an emergency. So keep that in mind. You rarely have to do something like that, but if you ever, for whatever reason, do, it's always good to know that it's there. All right. So your griddle here has to be connected to the LP system with this rubber LP line here, right? So this goes to the back of the grill. This one goes down here to this quick connect. You actually got two of them, so you could hook up something else if you wanted to, you know, a grill or something. If you were to purchase the grill, if you ever do that, make sure you get the right pressure for this system. You know, this runs, I think, about 11 inches in the water column, something like that. So you just make sure you talk to the people and that you buy it from to make sure that it's the correct pressure, because a regular grill, a household grill, will not work. Okay. This whole thing slides out, of course. You have some running water. You got a prep space here. A refrigerator. Now this refrigerator has you can see that's a coiled water line plus a sprayer there. There'll be a couple places to plug that in on this trailer. We'll point them out as we get to them. So that's just to hose things down, basically. All right. So this first step goes into your living area. Here, let's see. First of all, this is the fresh water tank fill. So the most common way to get water to the trailer is the city water hookup, which is on the other side. You just hook it on there and you turn it on and you're all set. But if you're camping someplace that does not have city water, if you're boondocking or you're just any place that doesn't have city water, you can pre-fill your fresh water tank right here and use the onboard pump to pump the water. I'll show you the switch when we get inside. But the bottom line is, even if you don't have city water, you still can use all the plumbing by pre-filling the fresh water tank. Okay. Now this is your black tank flush here. After you dump your black tank, the valves are on the other side. I'll show you those also. But after you dump them, like it says on the sticker, you leave the black tank valve in the open position. Then you put the hose of the dump station right onto here, turn it on, and it'll spray out your black tank. It'll clean off the sensors so you get a good accurate reading, that sort of thing. Okay. This right here is the vent for the range hood. The only thing you have to remember is there's a baffle inside. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a baffle inside, and if you're venting to the outside, if you're running the fan, you want to reach up there and pop that baffle open with your thumb or your index finger, so it flaps freely, right? When you're traveling or in storage, you can just snap it shut so it doesn't. But remember, if you want to vent to the outside, you always want that baffle flapping freely, okay? Now you also have outside speakers. You have a power awning with LED strip. You have a place to put a TV here. You got a bracket. You got signal out and power, okay? So you can always do that. There's your front stabilizer switch. Now we're not plugged in right now, we're running on battery power because we're away from the building, but this is your power cord here. This is a 50 amp cord, right? It's called a shore cord generally. We give you a reducer right here that reduces the 50 down to a 30 in case you only have a 30 hookup, and you know, so you can always plug in. Most campgrounds have 50 now, but if they don't, you have this to 30. You also have this one that'll go on there and bring it down to 20 in case you like have to, let's say you're packing it up at home or something and you just need some power, you can plug it in. You can't run the air conditioners, for example, off of this. It's not heavy duty enough, but it's not enough amperage, but the 30 you can if you have a 30 hookup, okay? 110 volts AC, okay? That is your wheel cover, and that is your dump hose right there. I showed you the two cranks already, okay? We come around here, we've got a deep cycle marine battery, 2 LP tanks that are full right now, and there's an automatic changeover regulator. You have your power tongue jack, of course, it also has a hitch light on it, and I told you about the crank in emergency. And this is the kill switch for your battery. If you want to shut it off and disconnect it from the trailer, if you're in storage or whatever, you can do that just by shutting it off right there. Okay, so this is your water heater right here. So right now this water heater is empty and is bypassed, right? So it's in winterized mode. By bypass, I'm talking about the valves on the back, okay? You can learn more about that, about winterizing if you choose to. You go online or whatever you want to do. Right here, the switch that you see right here, this rocker switch, that controls the electric heating element that's behind this cover here, right? And then there's a switch inside that controls the gas valve to light it on gas. The bottom line is you never run this without water in it. So, you know, when you get ready to camp after the winter, you always want to make sure that your valves are in camping mode and you fill the water heater tank up before you use it. The tank is attached to it. It's on the back. It's a 6-gallon tank. So always make sure there's water in it before you use it. The way to do that is obviously you have the plug in there. The plug right here is an anode rod and a drain plug. It takes 1 1/16" 6-point socket to put it in and out. And so you basically put the plug back in and put the valves in the correct position. You'll have to learn about that if you're interested. And then the way you tell it, you hook up the city water. Then you'll go and open a hot water valve. Nothing will come out except air will be coming out, right, as it fills. Eventually, as this tank fills, a mixture of air and water will be coming out of the hot water side, right? And eventually, when it's full, you get a steady stream of water coming out of your hot water valve. So then you know it's full, okay? All right. City water hookup, the one we talked about, the most common way to get water to the trailer. This is an outside sprayer. Dump valves here, okay. This is where your power cord hooks up, your 50 amp cord, okay.
And this is campground cable and satellite through to the trailer. That housing tells us it's pre-wired for a backup camera. If you choose it if you're interested in getting one, you make sure you get the Furon camera kit that fits in that housing. Okay, we have them, but you can get them elsewhere. Just make sure you get the Furon that fits inside there. You get a monitor with it, the whole thing. Ladder is a great thing to have because the manufacturer states every 60 days you should inspect the roof. You're going to look for cracking or separation in the sealant, make sure no water can get inside. You look at the roofing material and attachments, make sure none of them have been damaged by low branches or road debris flying up there, anything like that. You're just inspecting it to stay ahead of any problems. It should be part of your
your regular maintenance, just inspecting it, okay? That's important. Okay, as we come in here, your power awning is here. All right, there's the light. Okay, never leave the awning out unattended. If you're not going to be at the campsite, roll it in. This is the switch for your slide room. Okay, to turn the water pump on, we talked about right there, to pump water out of the fresh water tank if you don't have city water. You also use that water pump to winterize the trailer. To light your water heater on gas is right there, so here's the fault light. I showed you for electric, the switch is in the lower left-hand corner outside. For gas is right here. Okay, always make sure there's water in it before you run it. And then you have your battery. Fresh water tank is empty, and you go through all the options. You don't have 3 gray tanks, so you just use the ones that you have. But as it graduates up, you know, soon it gets close to being full, you have to remember to dump the black and the gray tanks. Okay, this is your thermostat right here. That's your mode button, so you just punch through the modes to get what you want. Fan is just the air conditioner running without the compressor. Cool is full air conditioning, so make sure that if they give you the option of using a fan speed, always choose auto. That's the best way to go. And of course, furnace or heat is the furnace, the propane furnace, and that's how you set the temperature right there. It's very simple. They work just like any other one. This right here is your carbon monoxide LP gas detector. It should always be glowing green like it is. If not, get it serviced. Obviously, if it goes off, you take everybody outside, leave the door open, shut the gas off at the front, figure out what's going on, shut any appliances off, that sort of thing, okay? And always make sure it's got the green light glowing. If it doesn't, get it serviced. These are your keys right here, obviously. Microwave works like any other microwave. This is the range hood that we talked about. Right here, your fan, your light. Always open that baffle if you're running the fan and you want to vent to the outside. Okay, so your range, first of all, always keep your cover closed when you're traveling. Never close it while it's hot. Always let it cool down first. Alright. You got 3 knobs here for 3 burners. This one is the sparker. You turn it clockwise to spark. This one's for the oven. So you just go like this. It's that simple. Okay. The oven's a little bit different. All the way at the bottom and the back is a pilot light. In order to use it, you go to the oven knob, you go to the picture of the flame for pilot light, then you depress it like that. You keep it depressed during the whole procedure. You light the pilot light. Once it lights, you still hold this in for another 10 or 15 seconds to heat up the thermocouple. Then you go to operating temperature. When you shut it off, the pilot light goes out, so you have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. This, I believe, is this switch. I want to make sure here. Yes, this switch is for your refrigerator. So you can the refrigerator runs on 12-volt DC. You can actually shut it on and off right here, which is a great feature to have. Let me make sure I know what I'm speaking of here. You know, I'm wrong about that. I'm gonna have to back up. I think this is just an ambient light here. Okay, so I was wrong. I forget I ever said that. Sometimes they're shipping trailers with a switch for the refrigerator. Sometimes they're not, but this one does not have it. Okay. Let's see what else. This is a pantry here, of course. TV is on a swing out bracket that locks into place, which is a great thing. This is the digital signal booster right here. It should always be on. I know you can't see it. Let me see if I can pull this away with one hand here. Hold on. There we go. Okay, so see how this is green right here? I can shut it off if I want, but when you're using the antenna, you always want this on. Okay, because otherwise you won't get a good signal. Okay. This is your sound, obviously. It has AM/FM radio. Okay. It has a USB, so you can stream off a USB drive. You know, fill it with MP3s or whatever you want to do. This is an HDMI in, so if you want to go into the system with, let's say, a portable Blu-ray player or something, you could go right in there. It also has Bluetooth, so you can stream wirelessly from your phone to your tablet. And
2 speaker zones. 1 is inside the trailer, 2 is outside the trailer. So it does a lot, okay? When it comes to, oh, we're not plugged into AC power. I'll just talk you through this. This is the fireplace. It runs on AC. We're not plugged into AC right now. But your controls are here, obviously. And you can basically set the fan speed off, low, high. It's a good space heater. You can adjust the color of the crystals and the flame. It has a timer. I believe this one has a timer where you can set it to turn on and off when you want. So it's a really good space heater for those days where you don't quite need the furnace. You can just use campground electricity instead of using your limit supply of LP, okay? This jackknife's flat to a bed, okay? This one here, you can pull the poles out of it and set the tabletop down onto these cleats here, right? And you can turn this into a bed. So there's 2 more beds to sleep in. Back in the bunk room, you have your bunks, obviously. This one couch is just like the other one. A jackknife's flat, so you can turn it into a bed also if you need to. You got TV hookups here, so you can put your stuff right here. This is an escape window. There's going to be another one in the front. You just go like this. Let me get it set here. You push it all the way through. All the way through, so you can get out, and then you grab a hold of this red tab and pull the screen out. Hopefully you can see what I did there. Very simple. Okay, let's see what else we have. Going forward to the master bedroom. The bed you can pick up and there's storage underneath, of course. This is a 50 amp system, so this is pre-wired for a second air conditioner. The air conditioner would fit right in here. You would have your controls on the air conditioner, but it's already got the AC power and everything is already there. You just need to connect it and attach it down. So if you ever wanted to add an air conditioner, this is where it goes, and you already have a 50 amp system, so it's ready to be converted. Okay. If you're interested in that, just call our guys and we can tell you what it costs and everything you need to know about it. This is another escape window, the same one as the one you saw on the other side. TV hookup here. There's a backing plate here for a bracket, so you can put a bracket and watch TV laying in bed. And just some more USB chargers and LED lights scattered around. The bathroom, the sink and shower work like any other sink and shower. Keep this in mind, this is a GFCI here. All the plugs in the trailer will be wired through a GFCI. There might be another one up front on this one. I didn't notice it, but keep in mind that, like, if you're using something outside and it pops, you're going to reset it inside the trailer. Okay, your toilet is an RV toilet, so you have a flush pedal right here. There's antifreeze in it now, but this sits right over the black tank. So when you hook up your power and your water, you'll come in here, you'll put a dose of chemical into the bowl, you'll hold the pedal down until you put about a gallon or more of water in the tank below along with the chemical, and you're all set to use it. You can't use it dry meaning with no water and chemical to start off, because it can get clogged up, plus the smell is really terrible. So if you do that, you only do it one time anyway, but always make sure you have chemical and water in there, okay? Alrighty. I think we've got it now. Let me look around, make sure I didn't forget anything. I think I'm missing the power converter, I believe. Yeah, I didn't tell you about the power converter. So the power converter is right here. It converts AC to DC power, as long as you're plugged into shore power, that is. So this one opens here, I believe. Yeah. So what you have, excuse me, is you have a 110 AC here, right? So when you're plugged in, this has 110 AC, just like you have at home, in the same kind of circuit breakers. They're all labeled here. Then you can see there are fuses up along the top. All the circuit breakers are labeled, and all the fuses are labeled. The fuses are 12 volt DC. So like I said, this converts to 110 AC to 12 volt DC. Also, on the 12 volt DC side, it's a battery charger. So it'll sense how much energy you have in your battery up front,
and it'll always send enough to keep it charged. So it's actually a battery charger also. So as long as you're plugged into shore power, it'll keep your battery charged. When you're pulling your trailer down the road, your tow vehicle's alternator will, through the charge line, will charge your battery, so it should always be in good shape, okay? That's the power converter. Now I think we've got it. Okay. Let me look around here. Yep. Okay, so I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Please remember what I said about inspecting the roof regularly. That should be part of your regular maintenance. Also, right now this trailer is winterized, so the water's been replaced with antifreeze, and the water heater is bypassed in the back and empty right now. Once you're getting ready to camp, make sure there's water in the water heater before you turn it on, okay? Thank you.